From the people behind Project Reality World War II and Liberty's Highway is born Periscope Games Studio. A group of individuals with one common ambition, creating the next standard in the World War II large-scale battle platform, Post-Scriptum. Focusing on historical accuracy, you will relive the events of Operation Market Garden across the fields and towns of the Netherlands, with the environment recreated at a one-to-one scale based on military archives, maps and aerial pictures gathered by our Dutch military historian. You will be given the unique chance to fight with the British 1st Airborne Division and its Polish Brigade, the British 30 Corps, and several branches of the German Army, such as the Wehrmacht and the Waffen-SS. It's a rare opportunity to experience the intense battlefield of the Battle of Arnhem as you stretch your way toward the bridge from fields across farms, woods and villages. In a 50 versus 50 players setting, you will have at your disposal more than 40 weapons and 50 vehicles accurately remodeled, including cars, transport trucks, anti-tank guns, armored recon, artillery and tanks. With an intense need for cohesion, communication and teamwork, you will have to make use of our integrated VoIP system, call in logistics capable of towing field guns and supplies to reinforce the front line, or request an artillery barrage and/or air support at a designated location. By following a chain of command, you will have a chance to see action in one of our 5 faithfully recreated historical maps of Arnhem and its western vicinity for a total playable area of 140 square kilometers, including the villages of Hilsum, Doorwerth, Rial, Oosterbeek, and a 8x8 kilometer map of Arnhem with its famous Bridge Too Far, where the 30 Corps will try to link up with the trapped 1st Airborne Division north of the bridge at all cost. Post-Scriptum will introduce you to 2 new exclusive game modes, Stratagem and Offensive. In addition, we want to provide a new game mode called Sandbox to the dedicated community out there who always seek the most realistic gaming experience. You will be given the opportunity to create your own rules directly in-game and on any of our maps or community-made maps. A game master will be able to spawn different entities from the game within a flexible framework. They will then be able to create their own objectives based on mission templates available, such as free roam, escort the tank, destroy the bridge, capture the area, resupply the area, link up with the division, and an infinite amount of other combinations. Post-Scriptum will be made available to the entire community with our development kit for you to add content, new game modes and maps. Whether you're jumping out of a plane, commanding a platoon, resupplying friendlies or operating a tank, you'll find many reasons to drop back into the action in this grand scale and historical representation of World War II. Do you have what it takes to get to the bloody 7th? Or will Arnhem be a bridge too far?
Okay, so as you can tell, we're going to be talking about Post-Scriptum today. And the reason I'm making this video is because last week they just released that trailer, and I've been a little behind. But yeah, so we're going to talk about the trailer, talk about Post-Scriptum, and what it essentially is, and what I think of it. So first off, Post-Scriptum is a standalone game that is using, I believe, the Squad engine. And it's a standalone game, so it's not a mod for Squad. You have to buy Post-Scriptum. It's a standalone thing, but I do believe it's using the Squad engine. Now, there's a lot of similarities you can see between this game and Squad. Vehicles, there's logistics, there's a command structure, there's logistics and stuff like that. So a lot of similarities between the two, mainly because the team that is making Post-Scriptum is both from PR and from a Squad modding team. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Obviously, I enjoy Squad, and I'm hoping that this isn't just a Squad reskin. As they said, they have, obviously all the World War II era vehicles and new game modes and stuff like that. But I'm really interested in the community development pack, and we'll talk about that later on. But we're just here going to talk about some of the assets that they've created and some of the screenshots and some of the stuff that interests me in Post-Scriptum. So the number one thing that I think that is really appealing is that how close it is to Squad. Now, some people are going to say, you know, that's the worst part. But for me, having something that's pretty similar to Squad helps with the learning curve. And I'm hoping that the reskin is not the only thing that's new. Hopefully they add some other features and some other mechanics as well. But essentially, I enjoy that it's somewhat like a game that I already love. Obviously, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the assets. So for weapons, they have mortars, obviously. And in the video, you were able to see the vehicles. They had functioning tanks and half-tracks and AT guns and stuff like that. So really cool to see actual video footage of certain assets being used so that, you know, you can kind of see that they are actually being worked on. So it's cool to see them towing AT guns and stuff like that. As you can see here, a couple of the weapons, mines, the Bren, some cool stuff. Yeah, MG42, obviously, one of my favorite guns, as you guys all know. But yeah, they have a lot of pictures and models, and that last video was a great demo of what they have and what they're bringing. I just hope that for the price that it comes out at, it's not just a Squad reskin. So we'll see. We'll see further on how that develops. STG, another one of my favorite guns. And now one of the other most important things that I think they showed in the video are the vehicles. They showed fully functioning tanks, which in Squad we don't even have yet. But in Post-Scriptum, they do have fully modeled tanks. And not only the model, you could see in the video the guy had an animation for turning out and turning in of the driver's seat and your commander seat. So it looks like they're putting a lot of their work into the vehicles, and it's great to see that because, you know, World War II had a lot of tank combat, and I'm excited. Even, you know, the half tracks and stuff like that. Like, these are really nicely modeled vehicles. So I'm really interested to see how those hold up in game. But yeah, scout cars and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So it is going to be a primarily, I think, British versus German game. I don't think there's too many. I don't think there are any American assets at all, or any American factions in Post-Scriptum. But of course, as you know, this is early on development, and if they support modding, then, you know, someone might make an American mod for it, or they might even release it later on. Who knows? The last thing that really interests me in Post-Scriptum, and what sets it apart from all the other games that I've been talking about, is the community control. So what I'm talking about is creating, you know, spawning in assets, creating custom objectives. Now, why is this important to me? Why do I really like this idea? I like this idea because it ties into Squad Ops, right? Squad Ops is my squad community. We host custom events, and we use the squad engine, and we basically are working with what we have in creating, you know, scenarios. Well, in Post-Scriptum, you can do that with the development kit that they're releasing. Like, you can create assets, you can spawn in assets, you can create custom missions and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that. I don't know, that's not a confirmation that Squad Ops is moving to Post-Scriptum or anything like that at all. It just interests me, right? So, you know, we'll see how much Post-Scriptum is. We'll see if, you know, we got a lot of guys going into Post-Scriptum, but we might, I don't know, it interests me as a community manager and someone that hosts events. That was a very appealing feature, is the ability to create, you know, defend the bridge, defend the tank, convoy, stuff like that, and make it feel more structured than how we do Squad Ops in Squad currently. But yeah, a lot of cool things that they showed, like the vehicles looked really well polished. The community event creation tool looks really good. I'm just interested in seeing how much it's going to cost, and if it's just going to be a reskin of Squad. But that being said, definitely something to look out for. A lot of World War II games coming out. But yeah, this is definitely one I think you should also keep your eye on. And, you know, Hell Let Loose is also in the same area. But, you know, competition is always good for the consumer. So we'll see what both games have to offer. You know, both games aren't even out yet, very early in development. But I'm excited to see what both games will have to offer. Very excited. More games in the tactical kind of milsim environment is great for us, because we need more of those, I think. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.